Okay, first we're going to call to order the Northumberland County Board of Elections. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. Silence, please. Seated.
This time I'd like to ask for any public input on agenda items only. Hearing none, a motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes of the February 1st, 2022 Election Board meeting.
So moved.
Second. On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion's carried.
At this time, we'd like to invite Nathan Savage, Elections Director, to come up and do the announcements.
Thank you. So we have a little bit of a hefty list, but I'll just buzz through some of the dates. Our last day to register for this municipal primary, or I'm sorry, for the statewide primary was yesterday, May 2nd. Our office has completed all of the voter registration applications, and we have up until May 10th for people to apply for mail-in or absentee ballots. So May 17th is then our last day to receive voted mail-in and civilian absentee ballots, and I want to make the point that county employees are all stepping up again to keep contracted labor costs low. So our mail-in ballot scanning room is typically run by the chief clerk and a bunch of other department heads who come over. And this is a great way for our department to keep saving a lot of money. So thank you to everybody that's here as well. Some of the other department heads step in and fill in as judges of election, help us all around the county. So I just want to thank them publicly. But also, we're always considering the budget, Commissioner Shikatano and Clip. So May 18th, after the election, the first day to register after the primary, and the last day for the County Board of Elections to receive the voted military and overseas ballots is May 24th. So these are typically the last ones to go in, just based on the deadlines that we have that are given to us by the state. We've received about 4,000 ballot requests so far. We've sent them all out, and then we're in the next transition of which will take us up to about 5,000 or 6,000. So we're right in line with all the other counties, meeting our state deadlines, getting everything out to where it needs to be. And the other note I wanted to talk about, our machine testing has been completed. Our poll school training is going on this week. And our election advertisement will be posted. As always, these are legal deadlines. I like to make them at public meetings just so we have another public forum that they were discussed at. The final point is our redistricting is finalized. So it's been a hefty ride, but we are all part of US 9, currently represented by Congressman Muser. Our state representation has shifted a little bit. Some southern parts of the county are now added to the 107, and the current 108 represented by Representative Culver has shifted over into Montour County as well. The final thing I would say is that we're all still part of Senator Gordner's district in Pennsylvania. So that's our update. Any questions, comments?
Good job, Nathan.
Thank you.
Teamwork, that's what I like to see. Teamwork, and you guys exemplify that.
Thank you.
It's amazing how much work can get done when no one cares who gets the credit, right?
Well, and I have to say for this board too, for each of you to let your department heads jump in and out of projects with one another is really helpful, I think, on a personal note as that department head, but just the fact that you let us all hop over, it really does build the team, but also save us a lot of money. So thank you.
Hey, Nathan, thank you.
Thanks.
At this time, we can ask for any old business. Any new business? Opportunity for public input?
Okay, we will recess that board and go on to our Northumberland County Commissioners Public Meeting. Call that meeting to order.
At this time, we ask for citizens' input on agenda items only. Hearing none, a motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes of the Commissioners' Public Meeting held on Tuesday, April 5th, 2022.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motions need to pay all county and liquid fuel payrolls as submitted by the Human Resource Office for payroll number 8, the amount of $747,102.09, and payroll number 9 in the amount of $730,308.14.
So moved.
Second, on the question, just one thing I want to, so everybody knows, Commissioner Best is out of town. Not only is she out of town, she's out of the country. So she is not here, she's not calling in, and that's why we have two commissioners here. Okay, next. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion's carried.
Motions need to pay all county and local fuel bills as submitted by the county controller in the amount of $4,886,409.44 from April 1st, 2022 to April 29th, 2022.
So moved.
Second, on the question. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Announcements. A work session will be held on Tuesday, May 17th, 2022, beginning at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Conference Room, which is also Election Day. Our next regular public meeting will be held on Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, at 1 p.m. in the Public Meeting Room at the Administration Center, 399 Stadium Drive, Sunbury. The Prison Board meeting will be held Wednesday, May 4th, 2022, at 11 a.m. The Administration Center, 399 Stadium Drive, Sunbury. The Northumberland County Courthouse, Administration Center, and related county facilities will be closed on Monday, May 30th, 2022, in observance of the Memorial Day holiday. A motion is needed for the Commissioner to sign the state tax equalization voucher for transfers of real estate for the month of March 2022, as submitted by the Assessment Office.
So moved.
Second, on the question. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion's carried.
A motion is needed to approve the employee status sheet list of new hires, individuals no longer employed, promotions, demotions, and transfers as items number 1 through 37.
So moved.
Second, on the question.
This is where you say about Nathan.
Is that in there?
That's just where you say about
So on that list, before we approve it, I just want to note that our chief clerk, Mary Rose, is retiring as of June 3rd, so she will not be here for the next public meeting. And on that list of new people, Nathan, who just spoke here, Nathan Savage, who is in charge of elections, will be appointed acting chief clerk at that time. So with this approval, that will be initiating that move, Nathan. I hope you can take this on your shoulders and be able to handle it. I know you can.
You can, yeah.
We're very confident in you. Okay. So we're going to, that would be included in the motion that we just made, Joe, okay? So, did you make it? Did you make the motion?
Okay with that? So moved.
I will second it. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motions need to approve the following reports as listed on the public meeting agenda.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor, state aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Motions need to approve the donation of a 2008 Ford F-350 utility truck to the City of Shamokin Police Department for the purpose of utilizing this vehicle as a crime scene vehicle.
So moved.
Second on the question. Maybe I need to say something about this. This vehicle was requested by the Shamokin Police Department about 6 months ago. It happened to come up, I think, a week or so ago when I saw an advertisement in the paper that the Shamokin Police Department and the Cole Township Police Department were both advertising to get drug dogs into their municipalities. And at that time, I met with the chief of the Shamokin Police Department and asked if there would be any way we can work with Shamokin, and then I also did the same with Cole Township, in using the police dog at the prison, because before COVID, we did have a police dog come in every once in a while to check, for drugs inside the prison. So the meeting went very well, and they offered the police dog as many times as we needed it. And I basically was asking once a month, and they said they would do whatever we need. They would have the dog up there. And and help us out instead of us having to hire someone to do that. I also met with Cole Township and talked to them, and we're working on possibly them coming up also. But Shamokin was very generous. They already had their dog. It was in training. And at that time, the chief also brought up about this vehicle. This is a vehicle that is with the emergency care unit. We talked to Mr. Jeffrey, who's in charge of that. It's Joe's department. It's a vehicle that hasn't been used hardly at all. It's a 2008. And Shamokin not only offered to take it, which we do give vehicles to different municipalities and organizations because they cannot be sold because of the way they were purchased. Shamokin not only said they would take it, they would offer it to any other municipality or fire department that would need that vehicle. They would lend it out to anyone within the county. And after I came back to the commissioners and explained the situation, and it was a 2008 that basically sits. I think Jeffrey's told us we get 60 miles on it a year. We figured instead of wasting it, because anyone who knows who has an older vehicle, if you let it sit, it basically rusts. It will rust that it won't be able to use. So that is why we are approving this. The commissioners, we talked about it about a week ago, and it's not only helping the Shamokin Police Department, but again, they offered it to anyone in the county that would need this vehicle. So we went ahead, and that's why this motion's on here. Okay? So that was on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the renewal of an agreement with Andrea L. Pencil to provide title search services to the Tax Claim Bureau of Northumberland County. Ratification.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the renewal of an agreement with Ursula Q. Kessler to provide title search services to the Tax Claims Bureau of Northumberland County.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to approve the agreement of sale and temporary deed of easement of 0.057 acres for the construction of the replacement of County Bridge Number 50 between Transcontinental Gas Pipeline Company, LLC, and Mead Pipeline Company, LLC, sellers, and Northumberland County purchaser.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to approve the annual renewal contract with Core Power Incorporated for Northumberland County 911 Public Safety Department for the UPS maintenance service. Ratification.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the engagement with Klasick and Associates, PC, to audit Northumberland County's financial statements of governmental activities, the business type activities, the aggregate discretely presented component units, each major fund, and the aggregate remaining fund information of the County of Northumberland as of December 31st, 2021, and for the year then ended, and the related notes to the financial statements, which collectively comprise the county's basis financial statements. In addition, Klasick will audit the entity's compliance over major federal award programs for the period ended December 31st, 2021, at a cost of $107,000 plus out-of-pocket expenses.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to approve the sublease agreement with Central Susquehanna Opportunities Incorporated, CSO, for a portion of the Northumberland County Career and Arts Center Building, 2 East Arch Street, Shamokin, Pennsylvania, 17872, known as Room 305, consisting of 832 square feet at $7.23 per square foot for a monthly rate of $501.28, effective for October 21st to September 30th, 2022. CSO is to pay a lump sum times the monthly rate for the period of October 21, 2021 to April 2022, then pay monthly upon execution of this sublease agreement. Ratification.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the grant application on the behalf of the Probation Department available through the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency, known as Subgrant 37487, Intermediate Punishment Treatment Program 22-23, for $185,000.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion needed to approve the following proclamations and awards. First one, the Older's American Month, May 2022. Second one, National Correctional Officers and Employees Week, May 1st through the 7th, 2022. And Emergency Medical Services Week, May 15th through the 21st, 2022.
Are we going to read these?
So moved.
Are we going to read them?
No, I wouldn't. I can talk.
Okay, so I'll second it. We have on the question, we have the proclamations here.
Do you want me to read it?
Uh,
Do you want me to read it?
We'll do as. We'll read these. Do you want to read?
You older Americans one,
I
because
figured I'd do that one.
that's your area there. You're one of those people, so.
This is
take
yours.
care of
This
that
is
one.
the correctional
I'll take
officer,
this
since you're in charge of the prison. Okay, I'll go first.
Just kidding. I'm almost as old as he is, so.
I'm older than both of them, so that's why I'm going.
So there's a lot of oldness up here.
Wisdom. A lot of
So the
wisdom.
Older Americans Month, 2022, I didn't know we had that, Karen. Did you tell me we had that? I probably forgot because I'm an older American. Whereas Northumberland County includes a growing number of older Americans who contribute their strength, wisdom, and experience to our community, and whereas communities benefit from people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds are welcomed, included, and supported. And whereas Northumberland County recognizes our need to create a community that provides the service and supports older Americans' need to thrive and live independently for as long as possible. And whereas Northumberland County can work to build an even better community for our older residents by planning programs and encouraging independence, ensuring activities are responsible to individual needs and preferences, and increasing access to services that support aging in place. Now therefore, the Board of Commissioners of Northumberland County do hereby proclaim May 2022 to be Older Americans Month. We urge every resident to recognize the contributions of our older citizens, help to create an inclusive society, and join efforts to support older Americans' choices about how they age in our communities, and along with recognizing all the older aged Americans in the county. Karen and Mike just do an outstanding job with our area aging, and you know, we go to a lot of conferences and all, and I think we have one of the best programs in the state. And I just want to also, besides recognizing the older people, recognizing them who are in charge of us older people. Okay, thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Commissioner Chickatano, and I will always be there for you to support you, so anything you need. By the way, Karen, on Friday, that was I really enjoyed myself at the Herndon Senior Citizen Center. That was a nice, first one I ever attended, because with COVID and things, so, but that was fantastic. Great job, thank you.
I'm very grateful that you guys were there.
Pardon me?
They were very grateful that you guys were there.
Yeah,
Karen, he's a little hard of hearing, being older also. We're showing all our shortcomings.
well, I kind of hear what I want to hear sometimes, but, by the way, Commissioner Chickatano, he wrapped up a couple pork chops and took them home for supper. I don't know if that was allowable, but anyway, okay, let's get to the National Correctional Officers and Employees Week. I've been up at the prison, up at our jail, quite a bit lately, and I was inside the jail, and I'll tell you what, I don't think I could work there. I sure wouldn't want to be living there. That's for sure. They do a fantastic job. God bless them, and they have a tough job to do. So whereas in 1984, President Ronald Reagan signed the Proclamation 5187 creating National Correctional Officers Week, which is recognized the first full week in May to honor the work of correctional officers and the correctional personnel nationwide. And whereas in 1996, Congress officially changed the name of the week to National Correctional Officers and Employees Week. And whereas National Correctional Officers and Employees Week is an ideal time to recognize and celebrate correctional professionals for their devotion, bravery, and ongoing commitment to being the change that they would like to see in the world. Therefore, be it proclaimed, on behalf of the citizens of Northumberland County, the Board of Commissioners is pleased to join with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in proclaiming the week of May 1 to May 7, 2022 as National Correctional Officers and Employees Week. Thank you.
I have the honor of doing the proclamation for the Emergency Medical Services Week. Whereas the medical emergency service is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas the emergency medical service system has grown to fill a gap by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. And whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of emergency medical services team, whether career or volunteer, engage thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it's appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week now, therefore, we, Northumberland County Board of Commissioners, in recognition with this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 15th through the 21st, 2022, as Emergency Medical Services Week, with the EMS strong theme, "This is EMS, caring for our communities," and we encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities.
Just a couple things. Number one, the one that Joe read for the officers at the COs at the prison. Tomorrow we have a prison board meeting, and there'll be an announcement. We'll be recognizing and doing a special event up there at the prison for the guards sometime this month. We don't have the date scheduled yet, but that will happen. Also, I'd like to also say that since last month, our last prison board meeting, we have added 10 new additional correctional officers up there, which is a good thing. We were low, and now we're at a point that we're getting back to where we should be. And, you know, of course, the one Mary Rose just read, the proclamation, emergency medical services, I think that ties in a lot with the first one that I read, the older citizens. I mean, we don't know how important these are until you do get older, and you see, you know, your parents or your friends who get picked up by ambulances or emergency vehicles or whatever, and you know, you're young, you don't think about those things. But as you get older, you do, and I think we have three very worthy proclamations today, and I hope people think about how important those three things are. Okay? Go ahead, Mary Rose.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
A motion is needed authorizing the execution of the renewal of maintenance agreements between the Northumberland County Commissioners and Modern Group Power Systems for the maintenance of generators located at the Northumberland County South Campus, Cole Township, Pennsylvania.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the renewal of an agreement with Vincent V. Rovito Jr., Esquire, to provide legal services to the Tax Claims Bureau of Northumberland County.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor state aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Motion is needed to approve consent order and agreement with the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection regarding municipal waste management revision.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
A motion is needed authorizing travel requests and attendance at the following workshop seminars as in accordance with the county's personnel manual travel reimbursement policy as listed A through E on your public meeting agenda.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor, state aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, Mr. Garrigan, Solicitor's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion to adopt Resolution R-18-22, Northumberland County Commissioners' Resolution in support of sufficient funding to support the Commonwealth's crumbling mental health support system in the fiscal year 2022-2023 state budget.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor, state aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R-19-22, the Northumberland County Board of Commissioners do hereby adopt a stormwater management ordinance O-0122 and stormwater management fee schedule.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor, state aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R-20-22, agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports between the Northumberland County Commissioners and on behalf of the Human, Senior, and Social Services and the named service providers as listed, numbers 1 through 2020. The above agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports are not with county employees, nor does their organizational contract list county employees as principal in their corporation or on their board of directors, with the exception of contracts with CSO, Controller Chris Grayson, and District Attorney Matt Levitch are members of the CSO board.
So moved.
Second on the question. All in favor, state aye. Aye. Joe, you ayeing?
Aye, yes, I'm sorry.
Motion carried.
I was daydreaming. No, let's look at one of these.
At this time, is there a call for any old business? Hearing none?
Excuse me, Mary Rose, this could be under old business. The last meeting, I did a teleconference. I was sitting in an airport in Chicago, and, you know, that's, it suffices for the time being, but it's not like being here in person. But anyway, I just want to recognize, and we always do this with exceptional teams, sports teams in our county, or anyone that excels. Back in March, the Southern girls team made it to the final state championship. I'd like to, on behalf of the commissioners, congratulate them. They didn't win the championship game, but they were there. They had a great season. Now, on the other hand, the Northumberland Christian School, you know, I had the opportunity to referee or officiate, or whatever you want to call it, a few of their games this year, and they were good. They were good. They had two twin sisters that were like 6'3" or 6'4". They mercy ruled almost everybody they played. But anyway, they ended up winning the girls' A state championship, and you know, it's the Northumberland Christian School. So it brought a lot of honor and notoriety to not only their family, their coaches, their team, but also to Northumberland County. So I want to congratulate them. And also, Player of the Year, she was a 2,000-point scorer. Emily Garvin, what a tremendous player for a point guard. She's as good as anybody I've seen, and I've coached a long time, and I've watched basketball. She's a real deal. But congratulations to Northumberland Christian and to Southern Columbia girls. Thank you.
This time we call for any new business? Hearing none, then public input.
Good afternoon. My name is Chris J. Grego. I'm a resident of the city of Shamokin, and most of you probably know me. I am not here on news business. I'm here as a resident and as part of the electorate to talk about voting, and I'll make this as to the point as I can because I have 3 minutes. This is about stolen and fraudulent elections, and I'm just going to read this to you. Following our most recent local election, a duly elected member of Shamokin City Council was removed from office after the Northumberland County DA filed charges against him demanding his removal. As a result, the ensuing court decision at the county level, the will of our city voters, was ignored and overturned. What will the end result be when the voice of voters across our nation is repeatedly disregarded and thrown away, no matter who the candidate may be? And we're seeing this happen. We're seeing this happen repeatedly in our country today. That's why I bring that up. Why would a candidate's name be allowed to be placed on a ballot for people to vote for in the first place with a plan already set forth to remove them from office. If elected, all the ballot would have to say is ineligible to serve. It did not. Okay. In other words, our voices at the ballot box no longer count, and electoral confidence is being systematically eroded in our nation as a result. Now, this is critical. Within the past 3 years, we've witnessed questionable electoral practices at the state and national levels involving fraudulent mail-in balloting, where votes may no longer be properly tabulated and verified in a timely and accurate manner. As we speak, there is an ongoing push to promote this type of voting, which will further undermine the confidence of our electorate. A local resident recently received several handwritten postcards signed and mailed by volunteers from the website postcards2voters.org, instructing them to go to vote.pa.gov, a state government website created with state taxpayer money used to promote the agenda of one party, along with the idea of mail-in balloting. In short, this means our own state taxpayer money is now being used against us to promote the election of candidates from one party without our consent as voters. Here is a copy. This is a copy of what I'm referring to. These postcards were sent in the mail. And I've got to tell you, 2 years ago, something terrible happened in our country with the election. I don't want to see that something terrible happen again in another 2 years. I don't want to see it happen again before that. But I've got to tell you, right now, here's the situation we're facing. I'm going to be very quick to the point about this. We had an election. The man that was elected was taken out of office. He was removed by a judge. His replacement was appointed by the city council. We didn't even get to vote a second time on who the replacement was. There is something wrong, ladies and gentlemen, with that in the United States of America. We should be voting. We, the people, should be controlling this, not government officials appointing who is replacing. And we're going to run into some real problems here. Thank you very much. I do have these that I had for each of the commissioners. They're biblical principles for good government. I had written them up, and I'm going to give each of you one of these. There's one for Commissioner Best.
Thank you. I will. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just a brief response. I appreciate you speaking and giving your views. I think everything that was done in the Shamokin election was done by the book. That's the way we had to go by it. The courts are the ones that made the decision that whether that person could serve or not. As far as anything, there's some things I do agree and disagree, but it's good that you brought that point, because that's what our country's all about, people expressing their opinions, and people can be on whatever side they want, but I appreciate you coming in and explaining that. Okay? So, public input, I guess we're at the end here. So, the end of today's meeting is Mary Rose's last official public meeting, even though she'll be here until June 3rd. Mary Rose has been here as long as I have, 6.5 years. It's funny, we talk about how I went to meet with her about the chief clerk position. Commissioner Schuck was with me at the time. Well, he didn't go. I met with Mary Rose at her home. And as soon as I met with her, I said, she's the one. It's like when you get married and you meet somebody, she's the one. Well, Mary Rose was the one. And we met with other people, but she just, when I met with her, she was the one. She's been outstanding. She's been for me, a psychiatrist, a counselor. We didn't agree all the time. Once in a while she yelled at me, but I took it with a grain of salt, because she, I think, knew who the boss was, but she has just been wonderful. Nathan has big shoes to fill. We feel very confident with Nathan, but Mary Rose has been more than the chief clerk. She's been my friend. So we'll have something as far as the county itself, a party around that time at the, at the end of the month or the 3rd. But for today, I knew Mary Rose couldn't eat cake, so Nathan's first assignment was to get a cake for Mary Rose, for everybody to have a piece who's here today
Yeah.
to celebrate. But I think he took care of Mary Rose's, right, gluten-free or something, I don't know what she has. But but anyway, it's been a pleasure having her here. I'm sure as long as I'm here, whether it's a year and a half or 5.5 years more, I don't know what that would be, but I'm sure I'll communicate with Mary Rose, and she'll probably hang up on me a couple times. But she always gives good advice, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. It's been a real pleasure to work with all of you people. It really has. And I will miss you. I consider you family. But thank you. I do appreciate the opportunity to serve. Nobody knew me when Commissioner Schuck met with me. He did not know me. I had worked for the county before, but not when he was here. And then he said to me, "You really need to meet with Sam. You really need to meet with Sam," because I guess Sam was one that was holding out on all the other people. And we did. I did meet with Sam the next day, and I had the opportunity to serve. In 2 weeks of being here, I looked over and I thought, who in their right mind would run for commissioner is what I thought. Because I have had the pleasure to work for the county for over 33 years. But I've served those as the administrator, caseworker, supervisor, and administrator in the BHIDS program, and then I had the opportunity to be the children and youth administrator. So yes, the reason I kept coming back, I've been told I have the most record for coming back to the county, is because you've got the best opportunity, especially in human services, to really serve your county residents. And that's the beauty of a state supervised by county administered system for human services. That is my background in terms of social work, and that was where my strength was, which working as chief clerk took me out of my strength. But, with everybody else's help, you get through. So I appreciate the opportunity and the experience I've had. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Could I say a few words?
Sure. A few.
You're a tough act to follow. Only you, Commissioner Chickatano, could tie in meeting Mary Rose for the chief clerk's job and knowing a person would be the one to marry in the same paragraph. That's pretty good. You're the last of the Italian romantics, I think. But that's pretty good. Not only did Mary Rose do, I was in education. I've been around a lot of people that I work with, and she's one of the finest that I've ever had the privilege of working with. Very professional, knowledgeable. She gets whatever she has to get done, she gets it done efficiently and accurately. So not only did she do a multitude of tasks, especially she didn't have to, for lack of better words, babysit me as much as she did Commissioner Chickatano with a lot of things. But like today, for example, he's asking me, where did he put his glasses before this meeting? I have no idea. He runs around to all the different offices. It could have been anywhere, and who knows where. Where's Nathan? Nathan, did he ask you about where his glasses were too? Better get used to it, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to have to know where his coat is, his glasses, his everything, and take some of the burden off me, because I don't know where he put his, but he did find them. Did you find them? Okay, good.
In my pocket.
So, it's been a team. When I became a commissioner, and that's all I'm used to is teamwork, people working together for the common good and trying to get good things accomplished, okay? And I like to listen to people. In my future life, I was a counselor, So I listen to a lot of situations, a lot of people, a lot of students, a lot of teachers, I listen to people, and that's a big thing. You got to listen, and then you have to come up with solutions to different problems, and that's kind of what commissioners do. Not everything runs smoothly all the time. If it did in this county, you wouldn't need any commissioners. You put it on autopilot, but that's not the nature of the beast. You're going to have problems pop up every once in a while, and your job is to take care of them. And so far, I think we've all, because of great teamwork with every department in our commissioner's office, we solve problems, and we get things done eventually, and we'll get it straightened out. But it's all about teamwork, and we're losing a very integral part of our team with Mary Rose. So Mary Rose, in my short time here, I appreciate it, and I thank you for all the help you've given me, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank God Joe said he's only had a few words to say. So, but everyone's welcome to stay for cake. Nathan has forks and everything. He did a great job in his first assignment. And for Mary Rose's last meeting, we are going to adjourn. Thank you.